Do you know how to operate the freshwater system of a Balance Catamaran? What about the steering system or the electrical system or the water maker? Well, if you buy a Balance Catamaran and you join our community, we've got you covered. Hi, I'm Paarman from Balance Catamarans. I'm based here in South Africa and work very closely with both our yards here in Cape Town. This is our Cape Town dock behind me, by the way, and in Cape St. Francis. One of my key responsibilities is nurturing the ever-growing community of Balance Catamarans, and a key project within that is to create loads of content around education for our owners about owning, operating and maintaining your Balance Catamaran. In 2024, we embarked on two major campaigns, the first of which was to recreate the handover sequence, or the handover experience as we like to call it. Together with Cameron Bauer, who is the commissioning skipper here in Cape Town, we made just over 40 videos of every single system and basically everything you need to know when you take ownership of a Balance Catamaran. The second project, more recently, after the Cannes International Boat Show, I spent a week aboard a Balance 526 with Darren and Amanda of Outer Passage to film sailing-orientated education videos, which we're editing right now and will bring to you in the new year. In this video, I'd like to give you a little bit of an insight into what these videos look and feel like, as well as a little preview of what our Owners Portal app looks like. So without further ado, let's open up the Owners Portal app. Let's go to Resources and scroll all the way down to Vessels and Operations. Okay, and here you will choose the second option called Operating Your Balance. Okay. Now this is a very long page that recreates the handover experience with 11 different sections, each containing various videos. We're going to open up the first section here, which is the freshwater system, and I'm just going to push play on the first video. In this video, we'll be looking at freshwater pumps. The freshwater pump system supplies water from the tank to the desired places on board: the sink, showers, basins, deck wash, aft shower rinse-off, and freshwater flushes. You will locate your freshwater pumps in the port mid-bilge and the starboard mid-bilge. You can identify the system by the accumulator tank and the adjacent pump. Within these bilges, you will see the freshwater pump system, saltwater system, and various seacocks. The freshwater system comprises of the supply line, where the water is picked up from the tank. Water then passes through a strainer to filter any debris coming from the tank. Next, we have the freshwater pump, which is responsible for creating pressure to push water to the desired freshwater outlets on board. Then we have the accumulator tank, which maintains constant pressure throughout the system forward of this point. Next, there is the isolation valve to stop the flow of water. To close off the isolation valve, turn it perpendicular to the flow, and to open it, make sure the run is parallel to the John Guest piping. And then lastly, the electrical junction box is just around the corner here. The pump is switched on at the electrical board. It will only run when there is a drop in pressure in the system. The accumulator tank will first offload the water that it's holding, and as that drops, you will hear the pump kick into action and resupply the accumulator tank. Your freshwater pump has a very easily identifiable sound and rhythm during its operational use. It's important to get familiar with this because it is your primary tell sign when something is wrong. If the pump starts to sound irregular, like stuttering, choking, grinding, coming on intermittently, running when there is no fresh water outlet open, staying on permanently, or not switching on at all, then there is a problem that needs attention. In order of likeliness, here are the possible problems. Freshwater outlet is open, there's an airlock in the system, the freshwater tank is empty, there's a blockage, there's a leak, there's a power supply problem, or we have a faulty or broken pump. Let's look at intermittent operation. A dripping faucet or shower will cause the pump to engage and disengage as the accumulator slowly empties out. Have a quick look around the boat to see that everything is closed off well. Airlocks are a common cause for irregular pump sounds and behavior. An empty freshwater tank can, for example, force air into the piping. To solve this problem, you simply need to purge the system. First, make sure there is water in the tank, and then check that the pump is switched on. Make sure the isolator valve is open, close your freshwater crossover, see the crossover video for details, and then open up the faucets on the side of the vessel where the pump is operating irregularly. You should hear the faucets spitting, purging out all the air. After a short while, the flow and the pump operation should return to normal. If there is still a problem, next, we will look at the strainer to see if there's something blocking the flow, limiting the pressure to the pump. You can look through the clear top to see if there's something inside. Simply twist it open, rinse it out under a tap, and return it to see if the problem is solved. It's good maintenance practice to keep an eye on your strainers whenever you are working in the bilges. Lastly, a loose connection in the wiring can also result in intermittent or complete loss of function. To diagnose, first switch off both pumps in case the crossover is open up the junction box and inspect the connections and the supply with a multimeter for 12 volts. If there is power, only now can we assume that the pump may be faulty. A broken pump may cause rough or grinding sounds. This will need to be replaced. If you are out at sea without a spare, switch off the faulty pump and use your crossover. This will allow the other pump to work both sides of the boat until you can replace it. To replace the pump, open the junction box, remove the wiring from the Wago connectors, close the isolation valve, open the quick release John Guest fittings at the supply line and after the accumulator tank, unscrew the 4 points holding down the platform and pull out the entire unit. Replace the pump and place it all back in the reverse order just mentioned. And as you can see, there's plenty more where that came from. This has helped people be able to look at this information before they come and take ownership of their boat, and also with so much information being loaded on you over a short period of time that you're here at the marina, that you can go away and feel confident that you always have access to these resources. And with that, a big shout out and thank you, not only from me, but from many of our community members to Cameron for spending the time to making these videos and sharing your knowledge of the Balance Catamarans insides and out. I look forward to sharing much more educational content, not just in the owner's portal, but also on our YouTube channel. Education is very important to us at Balance Catamarans, and I'm glad to be working with a host of different professionals that have so much to give and so much to teach. So with that, until next time, stay in balance.